Our first speaker is Dr. Bindu Poudel. She's an extension plant pathologist located at the Yuma Agricultural Center. She is in charge of the diagnostic laboratory, and she's our plant doctor. And she's going to talk about 2019-2020 fungicide efficacy trials on vegetables. Welcome, Bindu.
Thank you, Marco. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bindu Poudel, and I am the extension plant pathologist for the Yuma County Cooperative Extension. I am located at the Yuma Ag Center, where we have the plant disease diagnostic clinic. Our program basically includes, of course, the plant diagnosis, and we're working towards the molecular diagnosis, and we do some research and extension and a lot of field trials, which data I'll be presenting to you today. About the fungicide efficacy trial, at the UFA, it is a major component of our program. Last year, we did over 150 treatments or inserts in last growing season. We did efficacy trial on different fungicides and few diseases that included lettuce downy mildew, lettuce powdery mildew, lettuce drop, or the Sclerotinia drop, and spinach downy mildew. This year, by popular demand, we're adding the efficacy trial for fungicides, especially biological, for lead blight and celery. Today, we're going to talk about, I'll be talking about our trials on powdery mildew of lettuce, lettuce Sclerotinia drop, as I mentioned before, downy mildew of lettuce, and downy mildew of spinach. For all the trials that we did did last year, the personnel involved are me, Martin Pochas, who did everything pretty much, and Rebecca Ramirez, who is an excellent organizer for everything we do at our program. The land that we did, the soil characteristics is salty clay loam, sand silt clay, and with a pH 7.2, and with organic matter 0.7%. For all the lettuce varieties, we use the variety Magosa. For all the lettuce trial, we use the variety Magosa, and for all the spinach, we use the variety Revere. For lettuce, I will have a separate slide for spinach, but for all the lettuce, we planted on November 19, 2019 on double rows, 12 inch apart, and beds with 42 inch between bed centers. We use the experimental design, randomized complete block design with 4 to 5 replicates, training on January 12, followed by spray treatments unless specified otherwise. For all the latest treatment, we use tractor-mounted boom sprayers, 50 gallons per acre, 800 psi to flat fan nozzles placed 12 inch apart. This was the weather during our trial from November until March. This is a useful link for you whenever you need weather data of any in the past. You would just go there. It's run by the university. It is a very reliable source for you. Let's talk about a little bit about powdery mildew of lettuce, because you know how much I love the disease triangle. We need to have a susceptible host. We need to have a pathogen that's virulent, and we need to have conducive environment. So when we did that experiment, and when we did all our spray treatments as required or as requested, and we had to do the final disease rating. So we use this method to do the disease rating. If it's 0, that means there's no powdery mildew. 0.5, 1 to a very few very small powdery mildew colonies on the bottom leaves. 1 is powdery mildew present on bottom leaves of plants. 2, powdery mildew present on bottom leaves and lower wrapper leaves. 3, powdery mildew present on bottom leaves and all wrapper leaves. 4, powdery mildew present on bottom leaves, wrapper leaves, and cap leaf. And 5, when powdery mildew is present on entire plant. We had pretty good control by few fungicides. Maryvan, UA1 is an experimental compound for BASF that give excellent control. Luna Sensation, Raleigh, 40W, Fantilli, Quintake, all of them are very good in managing the powdery mildew. If you can see here with Luna Sensation, When we did only one application at thinning, we didn't have much effect. But when we did one application at thinning and one more application 7 days later, then we got virtual control. This is a lot of information which I won't have time to explain, but this is a public information available to all of you. When you look at the data, I want you to, when you are looking at the trials or the data, I want you to pay attention to the treatment dates. Some of them have 3 applications, 4 applications. Some of them are done at thinning. Some of them, it's not in the powder mildew, but I'll explain some more later, but some are done in the seeding stage of seeding water. So pay attention to this, pay attention to the rates, and pay attention to the combination that we have used. For powder mildew, it's pretty straightforward. From our experience, it's fairly easy to manage. This is available in all the IPM newsletters as archived. So if you need an access, please email Marco, and he will send you the link of the archived ones. And it will also be published in Plant Disease PDM or Plant Disease Management Report soon. Moving on to Sclerotinia drop, we all know it is pretty much all or nothing. Some year you have no problem, in some varieties you have no problem. Some year you have problem even in the same variety. So it all comes down to that this is triangle. Some year we have conducive environment and some year we don't. So you could have a host that's pretty resistant, or you could have a host that's pretty susceptible. But if you don't have the conducive environment, then even if you have a susceptible variety, you are not going to have a problem because there's not environment susceptible conducive for the pathogen. So what happens with the pathogen is if you have a conducive environment, then it sends out billions of spores in the air. And if we have fog or gentle wind that is carrying the spores around, and if you have a susceptible variety, then your whole field will be devastated. And some years or some seasons, you may still have susceptible variety in the field, but because there is no conducive environment for the spores, you might see some incidents every now and then, like somewhere in the field, but you will not have a complete devastation or complete death of all the plants in the field. That usually happens when the pathogen gets airborne. In terms of not making the conducive environment or manipulating the environment, if you flood your fields in summer for 4 to 6 weeks, the heat and the anaerobic condition gives almost 100% control of the pathogen. But again, agriculture is very fast-paced here. A PCA who gets the field this year may not get the field next year. So it is hard to continue with follow-up treatments, and this is a struggle on our part. But a lot of growers in Florida have had huge success flooding their fields in summer. On the experiment side, we grew Sclerotinia. By we, I mean Martini grew all the Sclerotinia in massive amount in the lab. So when they would when we did the cleaning, that's when we introduced the Sclerotinia, artificially introduced the Sclerotia in the field, and then we flood the field to activate the Sclerotia, and then we let them grow. There will be about 65 plants in one drip, so we're doing at least 4 to 5 reps, and then we will count the data plants after it has been in the field for sufficient amount of time. Indura plus Stargus, my spelling of Stargus is wrong there. Alternative with Marivan plus Stargus did pretty good, and PSD was really good against the Sclerotinia sclerotiarum. For Sclerotinia sclerotiarum, as you can see, Endura Marivan, Endura plus Stargus, and PSD did pretty good. This is just more additional data. Some of them have, as you can see, some of them have been applied in the seeding, and you can see the difference in data when they're applied in seeding water. Again, all of these, you can email me or Marco, and we will provide the data to you. For the Sclerotinia minor, we did the disease rating on March 8, which is just 1 day after the Sclerotinia sclerotiarum. Endura on seeding water, alternative with Marivan at thinning. Endura at thinning, alternative with Marivan. and Endura plus Stargus meaning alternated with Merivend plus Stargus, and Endura and Merivend rotation and Poudel give good results. As you can see in the chart, this one is we have applied the seeding water and after thinning. These are all after thinning. There's more data. Again, the same thing. We'll provide whenever you need it. Moving on to the downy mildew. We all know it is a much bigger problem when it gets cooler. Looking at the disease triangle, we do not have any, or we do not have effective or trustworthy resistant cultivars. Of course, if you have a good plant vigor, it always helps. Environment, when it's cool and wet, that's when we get the disease. Pathogen, one of the reasons that it is such a big problem worldwide, not just in Yuma or Salinas, worldwide, is because the pathogen evolves very fast. You have new pathotypes or new isolates coming in every year, every few years. One thing we have found effective is curative fungicide, really works. Coming to disease rating, 0 means no downy mildew present. That's our trial. 0.5 is 1 to a few very small downy mildew colonies on bottom leaves. 1 downy mildew present on bottom leaves of plants. 2 downy mildew present on bottom leaves and lower wrapper leaves. 3 downy mildew present on bottom leaves and all wrapper leaves. 4 downy mildew present on bottom leaves, wrapper leaves, and cap leaf. 5 downy mildew present on entire plant. Looking at the experiments, we saw some good activity. We had some good results. UA1, again, experimental variety by BASF, which probably hopefully will be available soon in next few years, had excellent control. Toltecan pyrite was really good. Thorac in rotation with reverse was pretty good. This Ultra combined with Stargus, as you can see in the picture here, they were all planted in the same date, but you can see these plants are much greener than other treatments or untreated control. This is untreated control. So this could be interesting finding. We're going to do some more experiment with this, but it could be interesting finding where your plants do not mature as fast. So, when plants are, when you don't have a lot of time, it's a hectic schedule during harvesting. So it might give you a week or two extra time to plan your harvesting. Just the result that we have, UA1, Thorac with reverse, Toltecan pyrite, and Toltecan pyrite with NIS. Those are some good results that we got. Again, a lot of data that you want to look at in terms of application date, time, and also application rate. Most of them are standard application that they will recommend the growers. Now we'll move to spinach. The downy mildew of spinach, we had the bed size is little different, 15 feet length of bed separated by 3 feet length of non-treated. We've observed downy mildew for the first time on February 12 and it's sprayed on February 14, 19, 24, and 29. The disease rating was done by percentage of leaf infected in 1 square feet area. So for each replicate, we randomly picked 3 1 feet square area and looked at the percentage of leaf infected. 2 treatments, Thorac with reverse rotation, and Thorac provides the most effective disease control. It also lines up with our experience with downy mildew letters. So Thorac, I think, is more of a curative nature, and it did provide good control. You can see in the data in the graph, Thorac with rotation with reverse, which is always a good thing to do anyway. Thorac, this is just the efficacy trial. If any of our experiment we're doing a repeated application of the same fungicide, this is for us as a researcher to look at the efficacy. This is not something that you want to do at the field. You always need to rotate your fungicide. More data on that, readily available whenever you need it. To give some plant pathology updates about the program. We have four funded projects now. We're going to be doing some experiments with adding soil amendments to manage Fusarium mold of lettuce. So if you know anyone who has soil amendment that can be applied to the soil, and you think that has good microbial activity, and if you think it's good against the Fusarium oils, please contact me, and I will be able to include your inserts in our trial, and it is covered by the specialty cover crop blood grant. So we get your data free of cost. We will be doing more integrated management of downy mildew in lettuce. This year we will be doing, last year we did about anywhere from 20 to 30 different kind of treatments. So we'll be doing all of those, but we will be doing it for different, most commonly cultivated cultivars of lettuce, or we'll pick 4 of the most problematic varieties that have problem with downy mildew, and we will look at the effect of same fungicide in different varieties. We will be starting the late blight of celery and organic celery. We will have the efficacy trial for both organic as well as chemical, organic as well as conventional side. The one, if you have any product that you want to try in the organic celery, it will be covered by the specialty crop blood grant, and there will be a fee for any of the chemicals to be used in the late blight disease management. And we're also working towards molecular diagnosis, providing molecular diagnosis in the clinic. So for all of that, I need a postdoc. So if you are, or if you know any prospective postdoc candidates, please contact me. We're in lookout for a good one. Another program that we're going to do on a regular basis will be field days, especially after all those trials. When we're done with our last application and when it's safe for the public to get in, we will have field days, and we will try hard at this time to provide CEUs and tacos. And also, if you represent a company and if you are worried about your confidential trials or anything like that, this field day will include only the public trials. It is only for public, so rest assured. And with that, this is the team that we work with together. Rebecca and Jason are new in the team, and Martin, as you all know, is the right, left hand and toes and everything of the program when it comes to trials. So he is the man if you have any questions. But all of this has been possible because of Dr. Matthew's legacy. We lost him this month. We lost a great mind. I lost my friend and my mentor. He was my source to go in every day with every question. So it has been a hard time for all of us, but I am very, very grateful that I got an overlap of a year with him and got to learn so much from him professionally, on professional as well as personal level. For those who are wondering about his funeral service, it will be held on August 29 at 3 p.m. Arizona time. This is a Zoom meeting ID for you. I will let it be here for a short time if you want to take a screenshot, and this is the password that you will need to enter in the meeting. And I'm running out of words, but plant pathology and UMA is a legacy of Dr. Mastern, and I hope I will be able to keep it up the same way. And with that, I'd like to thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.